Hello and welcome back to the Bright Light Wellness YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I want to chat a little bit about, you know, diversifying the gut microbiome. It's funny that when we think about diversifying the gut microbiome, most of us think of, oh, I need a supplement, I need a probiotic. That's our first go-to. And honestly, in my opinion and my experience, my clients' experience, those things are a waste of money and they don't really do any help or support you. So we need a whole different shift in the alternative healthcare world. And we need to realize that achieving health does not come from a pill or a supplement. It comes from lifestyle changes that really support health and healing, right? We don't have a supplement deficiency for sure. And yeah, our microbiome is not as diverse as it used to be. And that's due to a lot of factors. And I'm going to go over those things in a couple minutes. But if a probiotic does support you, it's just going to be a band-aid approach. And honestly, it can cause a lot of deeper pathology issues. It can cause a lot of other imbalances and gut dysbiosis. So I'm not a fan of probiotics or prebiotics when it comes to diversifying the gut microbiome. Like I said, I think they're a waste of money, and there are many other ways that we can diversify the gut microbiome. Now, the second thing people usually think of when they're thinking about diversifying the gut microbiome is, oh, I need to have, fermented veggies and foods. And while I am a fan of that, I don't think it's the best way, but I am a fan of like eating like your sauerkraut and your fermented veggies and your raw cheeses and just eating a diverse array of foods. I found the more I restricted my diet, the worse my health got. And now I've expanded it, and my diet, like my gut microbiome, likes diversity. I think we should be eating a diverse array of foods that are seasonally and locally appropriate. Okay, I do believe in seasonal, local, ancestral diets. So I think we should be eating, with the seasons and diversifying our gut microbiome with the seasons, because we're going to get into that, but light actually diversifies the gut microbiome as well. So there are many other ways that we can diversify the gut microbiome. And the first way is actually light. Okay, sunlight on the skin will actually diversify your gut microbiome. I know, sounds crazy, right? But when your eyes and skin, okay, receive the message from the light code, whether that's the intense UVB or the non-intense UVB, right? Through the winter, we don't have intense UVB or any at all in northern latitudes. Your gut microbiome receives this message and these signaling that tells the body what to do. And it actually tells the body to, you know, make certain beneficial bacteria based off of the sunlight exposure that you're getting. Okay, so that is one way that sunlight helps diversify the gut microbiome. So when there's no UVB, your body's not going to make, in a northern latitude, right, where I live in New York, there's no UVB. Your body's not going to make the certain beneficial bacteria to digest carbohydrates that are not grown in winter, right? That are grown in summertime only. So our body's not going to have this ability to absorb and digest those as well as it does in the summer, because when this UVB comes along in the summertime and you're exposing your eyes and your skin to it, your body's going to be like, oh yeah, man, I have to make these certain beneficial bacteria because it like prepares the body. The body knows what's going to happen. So then when the body knows, it's like, oh, I have to make these certain foods. I'm sorry, these certain beneficial bacteria to help digest these certain foods that are going to be eaten, because this is how we evolved, right? We evolve with the seasons, unless you live in like an equatorial location when you don't have seasons, but most of us live in seasons, right? So certain foods are not going to be available. So this is one way that light helps us digest or helps us diversify our gut microbiome. And your gut microbiome should change with the season based on the light exposure that it's under. Now, certain light frequencies actually harm the gut microbiome, like non-native EMFs. Okay, that's a form of light that we cannot see, but those frequencies actually disrupt the gut microbiome, okay, and make it less diverse. And artificial light, I'm talking from screens, from LEDs, from fluorescence, these forms of light without the infrared are alien, they're imbalanced, and they will actually make your gut microbiome less diverse, okay? They will actually make your gut microbiome in a worse shape, okay? So we need to think about our light exposure as the number one thing when we think about diversifying our gut microbiome. Now, infrared light from the sun, which is available literally all day long, right? Everybody hears about red light therapy and what it can do. It supports your mitochondria, it supports your repair mechanisms, it supports your exclusion zone water, it supports your cells and their body and the ability for your cells to repair, supports our melatonin production, subcellular melatonin, which is your body's ability to repair all day long. So infrared light from the sun is huge, and we need to be getting it on our skin daily. And then when it comes to melanin production, that is a major antioxidant as well, that it's going to absolutely support your healing of your body and support balancing your gut microbiome. And then there's UV light, which actually blue light and UV light from the sun actually can help modulate the gut microbiome. So meaning that it can help modulate pathogenic bacteria and supports the immune system and brings it back to balance. So it can modulate things like histamine response, things like issues with oxalic acid or oxalate foods, toxicity, or lectins, or any kind of anti-nutrients. It helps balance the gut microbiome. So and removes pathogenic bacteria. They used to use heliotherapy to remove things like bladder infections and tuberculosis and lupus and all kinds of rickets, all kinds of diseases, right? So it can remove pathogens from the body. This is particularly the blue and the UV light spectrum that does this. So just getting out in sunlight alone is going to help balance and get that gut microbiome in a better spot. You want to get the sun directly on your gut if possible. That actually lines, the gut lining, microbiome lining has B and T cells, and that sunlight exposure on there is going to directly penetrate there and make an impact. Red light can penetrate even through clothing, so you are going to get the benefit of infrared even on a winter day. That's why it's always important to be outside in nature in all the seasons. But UV light, red light, frequencies of red are long wavelengths of light, so they can penetrate deeply into the cells, whereas UV light can't penetrate through clothing. So you need to have your skin exposed to have the benefits of that happen because it's a shorter wavelength of light. So light is a big component, and I talk like at nauseam about light on my podcast, The Quantum Connection, on this YouTube channel, Bright Light Wellness, on my Instagram, Bright Light Wellness. I also have a TikTok, Bright Light Wellness, that talks about it. So you can catch me on all those places. You can learn about light and how it impacts health, but it plays a major role in your gut microbiome. Now, when I said before your gut microbiome will be less diverse, well, if you're looking at artificial lights at night, right, first of all, it activates the nervous system, it activates cortisol, and it suppresses melatonin. And when you suppress melatonin, you don't heal and repair overnight, and then pathology or pathogens continue to become an issue for you. So you need to, in order for your body to heal and rebalance, right, melatonin is really important. So you want to make sure that you are allowing your body to get the cellular repair, we call this autophagy and apoptosis, as much as you can. So blocking artificial light at night will be hugely important for this. I have a Get Your Light Right ebook. It's an ebook and a webinar. So it's a video and a webinar and an ebook as well. So you can watch the video and have the printout of the ebook, and you can learn all about how to get your light environment optimal to support your health and healing and support your gut microbiome. Serotonin is also huge when it comes to healing the gut microbiome, and we activate serotonin in UVA light. So that happens through this pathway called tryptophan, then to activate serotonin. This happens through light through the eye, which actually is it's like the precursor and the stimulus to turn tryptophan into serotonin. And that becomes pineal gland melatonin later on at night to help us rest and repair. Of course, like I said before, making melanin in your body. And when you make more melanin in your body, you're going to be more tan, right? It's not only protective to your skin, but it's also protective to every cell in your body, including the gut microbiome. And it's going to help your body have more molecular hydrogen, which is a selective antioxidant, which helps you heal and repair. That's just light alone, right? So that's doing so much more than a probiotic ever could do. And again, yeah, it's huge. So learn about light, learn from me, learn from somebody, just learn about light. Next is you want to connect with nature and the microbes in your environment. You belong outside, you belong in nature. We don't belong sitting in these boxes, these houses. This is not where we're meant to be, but we're meant to engage with the microbes in our environment. This will greatly diversify your gut microbiome. And then don't go run inside and wash your hands with antibacterial soap because you're going to lose that diversity, right? So, plant your feet in the grass, put your hands in the dirt, garden, farm, whatever it is you do. Be out in the elements, be in nature, swim in the natural waters, touch earth, touch nature, connect with those microbes in your environment, because all of this is sending a signal to your mitochondria, right? They are environmental sensors. And then all of this is also helping to diversify your gut microbiome. You want a diverse gut microbiome. You want to have a lot of different microbes in there that are interacting with each other. You want a lot of the good guys to fight against the bad guys. Okay, you want a diverse microbiome. That's really important. So connect with those microbes and forget the antibacterial soaps. I use tallow as my soap. That's all. Literally grass-fed beef tallow. So yeah, you want to do that. And then eating a local seasonal diet. You want your diet to match the seasons, like I said, and the light exposure and what's available. Like think about what can grow in your area. I can help you with that. I have a ebook and a webinar as well. It's the Ancestral Seasonal Diets Basics Plan, but I also have personalized healthcare plans and one-on-one coaching that can support you on all of these things as well. But anyway, my point is eat with the seasons, because that's what your body's expecting. That's what your biology is expecting. But then it will also diversify your gut microbiome based on each season, because in each season, there's going to be different availability for food. Now, if you live in an equatorial region where there's always sunlight, then you don't really have to do that. You just want to eat a diverse availability of foods that are available in your region, right? So all of this is really, really important. Eat raw dairy, raw fermented foods, because they're going to contain more beneficial bacteria. So if you get those raw fermented sauerkraut, raw fermented pickles, I just had some today, raw fermented, carrot salads and things like that, beet salads, like whatever the ferments are that you can get, that will help, but you want them raw so they actually still contain the beneficial bacteria. And then raw dairy, like raw cheeses and raw milk, has tons of beneficial bacteria. Raw yogurts, raw cottage cheese, all of this stuff contains tons of beneficial bacteria that your body really, really needs. Those are superfoods that you do want to include in your diet, okay? So those are my tips around diversifying the gut microbiome. You want to be outside, in the sunlight, in nature, connecting with all the microbes. And then like when you are suffering with something, you want to avoid suppressive therapies. What is that? Like over the counters, antibiotics and regular pharmaceuticals, because these things destroy the gut microbiome. Let's just go there. They are going to just remove not only the bad, right, but they're also going to remove the good. So you don't want to be relying on those. And this is where having a homeopath on your healthcare team can be supportive. I'm a classically trained homeopath. So if you come up with an acute, or your kids come up with an acute, go to homeopathy, learn from my homeopathy courses. My website is brightlightwellnesscoach.com. I have courses on different homeopathic acute ailments, or book in an acute session with me. You can also book in for chronic, which can really support the gut microbiome as well, because homeopathy is great at balancing the gut microbiome, because it's going to restore balance to whatever your body needs. It's not going to, the difference about homeopathy, it's not going to go after like a certain pathogen, or it's not going to go after like heavy metals or this or that. It's going to restore balance and up-level your immune system, so your body removes what no longer is serving you. That's the difference. We want to just get you stronger and more resilient, so you're removing what no body no longer needs. And it does it in the way that your body wants to do it in, because we kind of force the body with these different like killing protocols or heavy metal detoxes or parasite cleanses, or we're forcing the body. But instead of forcing, homeopathy just supports. So that can also restore balance to the gut microbiome and help remove things that are no longer serving you in your body, right? In my opinion, save your money on the expensive lab testing and sending your poop out. I have been there, done that. It's just such a waste of time and money. And those are just a snapshot in time. Like your body is energetic. It is constantly changing. That stool test that you gave out that showed you had a H. pylori, could show it today, but next week not show it at all. And that's just the reality because you're ever changing energy frequency being, right? And everything is impacting us from the environment that we are living in, from the lifestyle choices that we make, from whether we went to bed early and got a good night's sleep, or whether we, were up all night looking at our blue lit phone. Like these all things make a huge impact. So we want to think about all of these choices that we're making and how they're impacting us, and realizing that we are ever changing beings. So we can't just use these like linear like things like, oh, my stool testing showed this 3 months ago. Your shit is not the same anymore. Sorry, because your gut microbiome should be changing according to the environmental inputs that you're giving it. My stool testing should look nothing in winter than like it looks in summer. They should be completely different, right? So we need to think about all of these factors, right? If I've had a tough week where I've been working too much and artificial blue light and highly stressed, and that's gonna all affect my gut microbiome, right? So we can't rely on these linear stool testing and gastroenterologists and all this nonsense. I mean, I've been there, done that. It's never been a win and it's never supported me. So anyway, I just want to share all of this with you. I want to share ways that you can support your gut microbiome. And I think the best ways to do it are sunlight on the skin and in the eyes correctly. You can learn how to do that with my Get Your Light Right ebook. Okay. It's an ebook and a webinar, so you'll learn it through video as well. You want to eat a local, seasonal, ancestral diet. Okay. And I have an ebook there to support you there if you want a cheap option. It's an ebook and a webinar. And you can also, of course, work one-on-one with me, right? One-on-one coaching is available. I have an availability for one slot right now. And I also have personalized healthcare plans where I sit down with you and I discover the real root causes of your diseases. And I write you a plan that is individualized to you on how we're going to support it. And you get a summer and a winter plan because the gut microbiome should be different in the summer than it is in the winter, right? And then I also make you a video recording, right, to go along. You get a printout, a digital copy, and a video recording, so you can look with the two plans, right? So you get a lot of info with that. And then, of course, just tune in to my YouTube, my podcast, that's called The Quantum Connection, my Instagram, all of these things, right, will support you. So sunlight on the skin, earthing as much as possible, seasonal local ancestral diets, and avoid medications that are going to damage the gut microbiome. You want to strengthen the gut microbiome. And then even things like herbal protocols and kill protocols, these can damage the gut microbiome as well, because it's not about killing. I want us to get this, I want to get this message across. It's not about killing things. It's about supporting and strengthening your body, making your body more resilient so you're less susceptible to pathogens. It's not about a kill protocol. Make your body stronger, more resilient, and less susceptible. How do we do this? All of the things that I mentioned. On point circadian biology, sunlight on the skin and in the eyes, earthing daily, connecting with the microbes in your environment, seasonal local ancestral diet, and then pick the medications that you choose to put into your body wisely. Okay. Wisely. And then I think there's also a big emotional nervous system component that I also help my clients with as well. How we eat, when we eat, where we eat, all of these things make a difference also. So yeah, there's so much more I can say about that. I have another video on that as well. So check out my other videos, follow me, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts about this video. Let me know what you think, what you want to learn more about, how else I can support you. You could send me a message at contact@brightlightwellnesscoach. Like, give me the feedback so I know what else you guys need to make these changes and to support you guys, because of course you can work with me, but you can learn a lot for free too. So do what works for you and what helps you. But the foundations that I teach are the principles and lifestyle practices that I preach are the foundations to health, and they produce substantial and sustainable results. And that's what you want. You don't want to have another, you don't want to do a parasite cleanse and then the parasite comes back 3 months later, because you haven't changed your life. Your life is your medicine. You have to change your life to get real results. And that's just the truth of it. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know in the comments below, like, subscribe, and yeah, just all those things. And have a great day. And if you need support, you can find me at contact at Bright Light Wellness Coach, or find me on my website, brightlightwellnesscoach.com. Here for you guys to help you guys heal and diversify your gut microbiome is a huge part of that. So have an awesome day, and I'll catch you on the next one.